Hi, my name is Janice, and this is my speech that I'll be doing in front of my son, Zane. Imagine being born in a world where artificial intelligence answers all of your questions before your parents do, where screens are a part of infancy, and where school sometimes happens from a kitchen table. This isn't the future. This is Generation Alpha. While every generation is shaped by its time, Generation Alpha will be fundamentally different than Generation Z because of the technological, educational, and social environment that they are growing up in. And understanding that difference matters. To understand Generation Alpha, we need to first understand how generations are formed. Generations are not defined only by birth years. They're shaped and shared during childhood and adolescence. According to generational researchers Mark McCrindle and Emily Wolfinger, major cultural and technological shifts are playing a significant role in shaping how generations think, communicate, and view the world. Generation Z grew up with smartphones, social media, and constant access to information. Researchers Corey C. Miller and Megan, in their work on Generation Z in higher education, describe this generation as digitally fluent and highly focused on authenticity and mental health. Technology shaped Generation Z, but for Gen Alpha, technology is not a tool, it's an environment. First, Generation Alpha will be different because of technology. Generation Alpha is being raised on it. Educational researchers note that Generation Alpha is the first generation to grow up surrounded by artificial intelligence, voice assistants, and personalized digital systems from birth. According to researchers who study Generation Alpha in educational settings, this constant interaction with intelligent technology will influence how children learn, solve problems, and interact with others. For Gen Alpha, instant access and customization are expected. Second, Generation Alpha will be different because of education. They're the first generation to experience widespread remote learning during early childhood. Research on Gen Alpha shows that early exposure to digital and hybrid learning environments has increased technological fluency, but has also raised concerns about attention spans and social development. Steeler specifically points out that learning for Generation Alpha is already less about physical classrooms and more about access and adaptability. Third, Generation Alpha will be different because of social development. They are growing up globally connected to the world. Psychologist Jean Twenge, who studies generational twins, notes that increased screen time and digital interaction can reduce face-to-face social experiences for younger generations. For Generation Alpha, this means they may need more intentional guidance and communication, emotional regulation, and resilience. Some people argue that generational differences are exaggerated, that every generation is simply a variation of the one preceding it. And to some extent, it's true. Not every individual fits a label, but researchers do agree that generational patterns are useful for identifying trends. They help educators teach better. They help parents parent better, and they help leaders communicate better. So why does this all matter? Because Generation Alpha will soon enter classrooms, workplaces, and leadership spaces. If we treat them as just another Gen Z, we risk misunderstanding their needs. Educators need new approaches. Parents will need new healthy technological boundaries. And leaders will need to balance innovation with human connection. In conclusion, Generation Alpha is fundamentally different from Gen Z because they are growing up in an AI-driven, post-pandemic world. By understanding these differences now, we can better prepare to support this generation, not just to survive their world, but to lead it well.